Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. This is your weekly tarot reading for the sign of Libra, so let's get to it. Hi there, Instagram. What's kicking? Let's pull some cards for you and see what your weekly energy report is looking like. I love that phrase, but someone else is already using it, so we don't want to plagiarize. All right, kids, if you can come up with another way to say weekly tarot or weekly energy report, I'd love your input. All right, Libra, here we go. This is the beginning. So Nine of Swords is the first card that comes up. For those of you over on Instagram, you can see the picture-in-picture representation of the card reading, so you can see how they're playing out. I am seeing Nine of Swords. It's the first card that pops up for you, and that has to do with feeling like a ghost. And usually this means that you don't feel as if your voice is being heard, or if that when you're speaking that nothing's really getting understood, comprehended, or connected. So if you look at this, you have this card here where there's this mist in front of the individual and this barrier. So there might be a communication barrier, or it might even indicate some loneliness. Now, for a lot of us, things have shifted quite a bit. I don't leave the house. I don't leave the house ever. And I actually am very resistant to leaving the house because it's just a lot of drama. And I order my groceries and my things to come to me. But what's true is oftentimes I get a little stir crazy and I'll do something like take the dog for a drive and just go. I see the Three of Coins, which is you working, labor. I see the Moon card, Page of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Now, so hi Oscar, hi Shakir, what up, what up? So I'm seeing the Queen of Wands, which this all has to do with work and maybe some isolation. Maybe you're looking for a new job too, because we have the Moon card here. And the Moon card has to do with mapping. It has to do with fear. It also has to do with like trying to decide where you're at and figuring out that whole life path kind of thing. We see the Page of Cups, so there's a desire for some new connections. I'm also seeing the Three of Coins, and like I mentioned, that has to do with work and labor. You feel like you're spinning your wheels here a little bit. There's also a component to this where you feel like some of you may be going back to school. We have the Page of Wands, which has to do with education, knowledge, right? So in this card right here, hi Savvy, my girl. So we have the Page of Wands, and that has to do with education. Now, you might be finding yourself studying some new material, thinking about going back to school, playing with some education. Like I know some of my clients are just really looking to study some deep material lately, Law of One, etc., astrology. I'm also seeing for Libra that your intuition is kicking in quite a bit, a little bit more than it has been. We have the High Priestess. Sometimes the, no volume. Again. Hold please. Hang. Okay, hopefully that helps. You gotta be kidding me. You know, I have more problems with this stuff. I apologize, but I'm not hanging up on this. I'll repost the video with some more, with another version for you. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. So I will repost the video from Instagram for you guys to catch, and so you guys won't miss it. So Nikki, I fixed the volume there. Let me know if there's any more problems with it. This constantly happens with YouTube. It kicks out my platform. Anyways, let me continue with where I was. I promise I will come back on here and post something that's a little bit more clear for you guys to hear. Okay, so thank you for your patience on that. So anyways, as I was saying, the High Priestess has to do with intuition. You're feeling a little bit as if you've got these sixth sense or these senses of instinct that are coming up for you, and you're starting to pay attention to that quite a bit more. We also see the Queen of Coins, which is money. We see the Four of Wands, which has to do with your foundation. You're feeling a little bit backed into a corner. You do have the Wheel of Fortune where things are changing for you. And when it comes to time, there's this beautiful intuition that's telling you what to shift, where, and how. The only thing that Libra doesn't like right now is this sensation right here, Five of Wands, which has to do with feeling backed into a corner. Now, this might be the hot seat for you. It's not exactly gossip, but it definitely has that feeling of like, I'm feeling attacked. You're taking all these movements and things that are happening around you very personally, and they are very personal. A lot of these things that happen to us, really do have like a ripple effect on all of us. Everything with the shutdowns in various cities, travel restrictions and holidays, we're really evaluating our foundations, and that's a lot about what comes up with the moon card. So the moon card in this deck, if you'll notice, she has two pillars by the side of her, and these are secrets and knowledge. We have the moon, where she came from, and she finds herself between these places of wisdom. And as she's looking at her life, moving forward is a little fearful. So she's worried about like what's going to happen next. How am I going to line these things? And there's a moment of this aha moment where we sit back and we go, yeah, I most definitely need to take stock of where I am. This may look like anything like budgeting. We may be reevaluating our relationships, but we're starting to look at things under a microscope, not too finely because we're starting to get a little overwhelmed. But we're looking at our foundations and where we stand and how solid they are, okay? I also see a desire for making some new connections and being more social. I'm seeing quite a possibility for some moves for some of you. We do have the 7 of coins, and how this card likes to play out. Thank you, Nikki. So we have the 7 of coins, and how the 7 of coins plays out is that there is this movement from one place to another. So sometimes what can happen with this is that we're suddenly coming to a moment where we realize we're going to do something very differently. So it's kind of like a minor to the death card. It can be a change. It also is my card that indicates a move. So if somebody's moving from one place to another, that's what it can look like. And I'm seeing decision making. So I say that a lot because this card right here really is all about like what our decision making looks like. Ray, where to go? Ace of Swords. So it's a new beginning regarding some situations and some thought processes that you have on your brain. But I want you to know that you have the 9 of Wands and the 4 of Wands, which are really good cards for foundation. So this is the structure of your house and home, the 4 pillars, like keeping things balanced. And then right here we have the 9 of Wands. So you're making sure that you're building your foundation so that things seem a little more solid for you. Not a whole lot of distress, just this overwhelming feeling as if you're not being heard. And that comes from having shallow connections, shallow relationships. So when we have relationships that don't respond in equal measure, we tend to find out that they're not as full or fulfilling as we expected. Let's pull a card for you, Libra, from Mystic Dreamer. And then we will pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients. And let's take a look and see. This will be your Libra moon reading. Let me shuffle one more time. Book your one-on-one, KarmaOnDeck.com. I do have some sessions open tonight. I think you only have a little bit of time to book. However, the schedule is still open. If you want a reading tonight, please reach out. I don't think the schedule's open past 7. Please come join me on my YouTube, Karma on Deck. For those of you on my other social media platforms, let me know where you are in the world and how you felt your reading went. Any questions or whatever also, please feel free to reach out. So the Sun card here, 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is an indicator of fall. The Hangman, waiting. So here's the thing that I have to point out to you. You have a lot of emotional stuff going on for you, your Libra moon. Libra moon is thinking a lot about apology, new beginnings, indecision. You've been staying up late at night thinking over some certain situations where you're troubled a little bit. However, it's a habit of worry and not real worry. I'm seeing the 9 of Wands, which is fatigue. So Libra isn't telling their loved ones and the people around them how fatigued they are. You really want to stick to your foundations. Again, 4 of Wands. Boop. Right here is the 4 of Wands, where you have this breakdown or this feeling as if 9 of Wands, 4 of Wands. Sorry, somebody's poking into my head right now and I can hear their drama. So I'm having the 4 of Wands again for you. So that's your structure and your foundation. And now, though, Libra moon is really thinking about emotionally and how these things look rather than financially. And this is your love and lovers, too. There's the 9 of Cups that has to do with your, feeling overwhelmed. Yet some of these things are fulfilled. I am seeing the Fool, which is your crossroads and foundation. So for you, you're undecided on what path you want to take it with your relationships. I will tell you that you're very emotional right now about these things and kind of keeping that close to your chest, because this is your moon reading, how you think and feel. But the general one, you're more focused on your liberty and your financial situation. So right here is the 2 of Swords. That has to do with indecision. And if you notice, she's got advisors on either side. The crows are giving her information. We've got the ray of light in the middle. You'll find your balance in the middle. I'm also seeing Libra spending a lot of time on the internet, social media, 3 of Pentacles. So that may be you snooping Okay, there's nothing wrong with snooping and browsing and checking things out, you know. Don't let it get too obsessive, though. You also have the Ace of Swords. So your two congruency cards between your general spread and your moon reading are very similar. You have the Ace of Swords, which it's coming up on this moment where you feel as if you need to make a decision and that these decisions are sitting on top of each other. So you're not quite sure which ones to make first. I don't know where that came from. But I'm also seeing the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is one of those cards, if you look at it, it's a pledge. So this could be someone pledging to you. It could be the idea that you owe somebody an apology. It might also be someone asking for your attention in a lover's situation or asking for you back, especially with the Four of Wands and its representation in this deck and all the lovers cards that are coming up. You do have a proliferate amount of love and lovers cards. You have Cups, Two of Cups, and then you have the Nine of Cups. You know, overwhelm, regret, Hanged Man, feeling stuck. And the longer you're stuck, the harder it is to get moving, right? I use this subject often when I talk to people in my coaching sessions where I talk about getting started. So if you want to make a huge life change, you can't just like up and quit and do Bikram yoga every day in the stretches that you'd like to do. You have to begin. And so within this, there comes a moment where we get stuck, where we're so indecisive that both choices, or we're going to lose something if we choose one thing, or we feel like the decision is so overwhelming we're not sure where to begin or how to start. But we have to begin. I was listening to Kerwin Ray yesterday, and he was talking about, you know, beginnings are the toughest, and all you have to do, and like the thing that I do, one thing that I'll thank myself for tomorrow is the number one thing that I think keeps me going, because I still can look back and see that progress, even if it's just that one walk a day, or getting my videos done for you, or whether it's working on my business a little bit more. Because there gets to be this lag that, for me personally, when you get into this lag of building your business, it feels like that's all you do and you lose the fun in it. However, if you can break things down into small enough pieces and begin with that, you'll see that you'll have suddenly look back and there's this miles you've walked and these videos. Like I got frustrated when I was in Florida and things kind of went sideways and I lost a month worth of work. Okay. And when I got back, it just seemed like I hadn't gotten anything done. And I didn't know how to start again by getting back with you guys over these videos. They're losing sound again. Me and computer equipment, I swear. So there was a moment where I had a really hard time getting back to doing the videos. And when I looked back at my YouTube channel and saw how many hundreds of videos that I had and the messages I'd gotten where they'd missed them, it was inspiring to me to be able to get back to it. So just begin, Libra. Even the littlest steps make a huge difference. So let me pull a card for you from Mystic Dreamer. Sorry, Divination of the Ancients. And I'm really distracted by the sound going out on my YouTube over and over again, but I will repost that for them. And then we will get pretty back to it just shortly, because I'll be back on here for Scorpio, etc. right after. Dreams, incubation. So this is an interesting card. Thank you, dear Beth. So the card that I pulled for you from Divination of the Ancients is the Dreams card, which is incubation. And the cool thing about this card is that it talks about journaling your dreams. However, my interpretation of the best use of this card is what we call incubation. And if you look at this card, it has to do with sleep, right? And connecting with your subconscious mind. So as an NLP practitioner, I talk to you guys all the time about, about us having this magical power that we have over our brain, over our subconscious. And that is like the true mechanism in which you can start to create the law of attraction, and manifestation starts to become very real for you when you start to really train your brain. So incubation, like one of the tricks is to put a letter to yourself of what you'd like to create under your pillow. And another technique is to journal what you want to create and what you want to see, and write down your dreams. Please pay attention to your dreams. Thank you for your patience with all of this that's going on. I will post this video on YouTube for you guys to catch up with, but I will be right back after this. Love and light. Remember the law of one, guys. We are all in this together. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will catch you on the flip side.